welcome back to Beach Life Barbecue. Today I'm going to be making up a pizza dough. I've made this a few times. I finally got a recipe that I really like that I'm going to share with you today. I'll make sure I put it down in the comments, also post it in the video, and I'll go through it as I make it. I'm going to make some calzones for the family tonight. If you like these videos, if you'd subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Let's get started. So here are the basic ingredients for my dough. I have the scale here because I measure everything I do out in grams. It's a lot more accurate, and I recommend that if you don't bake with a scale, that you get one and you start doing it. You'll find out that your measurements come out much more accurately. What you're making becomes a lot more consistent. Give it a shot. I recommend it. They're not very expensive to get one. 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks tops. You can go really expensive and get one of the expensive ones, but I think this one was like 18 something. So to the recipe, I have 600 grams of bread flour, 60 grams of extra virgin olive oil, 30 grams of white sugar, 6 grams of salt, 350 grams of water that I'm going to heat up to about 100 degrees, and 1 packet or 7 grams of dry yeast. So I put the water in the microwave for about a minute, and it should heat it up to roughly 100 degrees. You definitely don't want it to be over 110 or it will kill the yeast as soon as you pour it in. Once it's there, and I do like to check it with a thermometer, once it's there, go ahead and pour your yeast in. Give it a little stir for a second, and then we're just going to set it aside for about 5 minutes. I have my mixing bowl. Go ahead and add in my flour, my sugar, and my salt. So while we're waiting for the yeast to activate, I'm going to go ahead and just mix in my dry ingredients. Okay, my yeast is completely activated. I have a few little bubbles on top telling me that it's nice and alive. I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. You can see I have installed my dough hook onto my KitchenAid mixer. I'm just going to go ahead and lock that down in place and put it on 1. Don't get it going too fast. If you do, it'll blow flour and sugar and salt everywhere. Now, I've seen different people, add the water slowly, add this slowly. I don't. I just pour it all in. And then we wait. Okay, you can see that my ball is now all set up. Let me turn this up. It's mainly on the hook, but you'll see that this is kind of clumpy. This is the point where we're going to stop it, and we're just going to wait 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and then just mix it at a medium speed. And we're done. For my bowl that I olive oiled. Into my bowl. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a flip, get it covered on all sides with olive oil. Shouldn't stick to the hand. Cover it with saran wrap or cling wrap or whatever you have, and then we're going to put a towel over it and just let it sit in a nice warm place to rise. we'll get back to it in a couple hours. So it's been about 2 hours, so let's see how it looks. Oh, beautiful. It's all risen up. It's nice, still nice and moist on the top. By putting the oil on, you'll notice it comes off the sides nice and easy. Oh, there we go. You see it comes off the sides nice and easy. It might stick a little bit, and that's what the spatula is for. You'll see that it's already dropped down quite a bit since I picked it up and opened it up. So all we're going to do now is I'm going to just lay it out. I'm going to toss it a couple times, and then I'm going to split it into halves for my dough. A little flour on the counter. Once my dough's out of the bowl, I'm just going to lightly sprinkle it with flour and then go ahead and knead it, adding a little bit of flour as necessary. A little too much. As necessary as I need it. Now I don't want to knead it too much, I just want to get it so it's the right consistency. A little moist. It's easy to handle, it's soft. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. This recipe makes 2 thick crust, roughly 18 to 20 inch pizzas. I'm going to go ahead and weigh them. See how close they are. Actually about 100 grams off on that. Let's try that again. Okay, that's close enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my dough balls for my pizza. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch out one side and crimp together the back. So I pinch this together, I stretch this out on the front. Once I've got it nicely tight, you should have a nice tight skin across the top of it. And then it's ready to just go on a sheet. I dusted this with a little bit of flour. It'll just go sit on there and rise until I'm ready to actually make my pizza dough, or roll out my pizza dough, I should say. Let's do this one. Again, just get a little flour on it. And then all I'm going to do is peel or pull back the front and keep pulling it until this firms up. See on the back, doesn't matter what's going on back there, just keep pulling. Roll it with a little bit of flour, and it's done. Onto the sheet it goes. So that's my pizza dough recipe. I make a lot of different things with my pizza dough recipe. This is kind of going to be the beginning of a series. Obviously I make pizza, I make calzones, garlic knots. If you watch my Instagram, you've seen my garlic knots that I've posted on there. I also do a couple different types of bread. Bread and pizza dough are not that far off. It's pretty much just a difference of olive oil. So I'm going to make a few of those things and be posting videos on those. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, notifications. Other than that, I'll see you at the beach.